Hello, this is Axel Hart and you're listening to Be On Air. Be On Air is my show on Future Hits and you can find out more about Future Hits on their website. And not to give more plugs, but if you want to watch the full show that happened this month, you can go onto the Mixcloud page to learn more. So I interviewed 4 incredible artists for the show. So if you want to catch up on a particular artist, check out the chapters below and you can find them. The first 2 being Mia Automata and Ramona Wolf. Both of these artists I caught up with last year at their gig and they were incredible. Both fantastic writers and performers. Ramona has such a distinct tone and a beautiful voice, so do go check it out. And Mia is just an all-round artist who really goes into every element of creating her music. Whether that's singing and songwriting, performing, album art, video work, they really look at every element. Unfortunately, it was super hard to work with Ramona's video, not sure what happened there, but hopefully you enjoy the interview, and if you want to find out more about all the artists, the link is going to be in the description.
Welcome to Be On Air, learning the journeys and stories behind the music with Axel Hart.
Hi, my name's Mia Automata, or you can just call me Mia. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, artist from Hertfordshire, and some of my favourite bands and influences are Paramore, La Dispute, Me Without You, some very post-hardcore stuff. But I also like to mix my influences with composers like Akira Yamaoka, who composed the music for Silent Hill, or Yoko Tano and the music for Ghost in the Shell. I like to try and make something that's very much me, like something you've never heard before.
Yes. Your music is uniquely you.
Thank you.
You've taken a long trip coming down.
Yeah.
How's your journey down? And are you excited to perform at this venue?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's a really nice vibe in here. It took me like an hour and a half to get here. And it's very cold, it's been raining.
It's dedication as an artist. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Talk to me maybe about your surname, Automata. Is that how you pronounce it? Automata? Yeah. Where does that come from?
Originally, it was from a video game called Nier Automata, and the story of that game really resonated with me, so I thought I'd incorporate that into my artistry. Automata means a machine or machines in imitation of a human, of a person. And
right.
For a big portion of my life, I metaphorically felt that way. I wasn't actually a robot, but I very much felt on autopilot, something I didn't want to be.
Right.
And yeah, my name's a reflection of that.
Do you think I go by a artist persona as well. Has that kind of helped you maybe express yourself in a different way that you thought you couldn't? Is it like a different person to who you truly are? Like, how would you describe that?
I would have liked it to help me delve into some other persona, but I can't seem to do it. It's just me. I can't.
It's just part of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And then today you're performing with a couple of other artists. How is it performing on a set list with artists that maybe don't have a similar sound to you? Is that quite nerve-wracking or?
It's not something I'm unused to. It's happened a lot. So,
yeah.
I always like it. I like having variety at the shows I go to. It helps separate people in their artistry and it lets them be in the limelight, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, perfect. And then let's talk music. You've had quite a few releases since 2020, I believe.
Yeah. 2020.
What made you kind of go from singer, performer to, okay, I'm going to put music out for the world to listen to?
Something I always wanted to do ever since I was a kid, but I guess I just thought, screw it, and why not do it now, you know?
Yeah.
Some of my earlier stuff, I still like it, but I've come a long way since then.
Right.
Production-wise, songwriting-wise.
Yeah.
I'm excited for everyone to see what else I put out.
Right. If there was a message that you could give your early Mia, what would you say?
Things do work out the way you want them to. You can you can put yourself out there and people will like it. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
It's an amazing message. I think that's one of the hardest things just in life. Forget about being an artist. To kind of fully and truly be you outwardly as well. It's so hard.
Definitely.
So hats off to you.
I still struggle.
Yeah, no, it's especially as an artist as well. I always feel like I need to hold back with what I share because I'm not totally comfortable doing that. Do you think you're at a place where you're like able to share personal things with through your music?
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing.
All of my writing is personal. I just like to dress it up in a way that people can't tell.
Perfect. And then if we would say there's two artists that you're inspired by, or if people listening to this or watching this thought, okay, I need to listen to some Mia, but who is Mia? Who would you say you draw inspiration from?
Well, my number one biggest inspiration is Hayley Williams from Paramore. Ever since I was a small teen.
Yeah.
She's grown and I've grown, and I really appreciate her songwriting. That's the biggest impact she's had on me, is the songwriting.
Perfect.
And I'd like people to listen to Lada's Beat. They're very heavy and not easy to listen to, but the things they write about, there's a whole album they've written dedicated to trauma across the USA, and it showcases people's stories and hardships, and I just love it so much.
Amazing. Okay, and then finally, if we are going to play some music, some of your music on Future Hits, what's the one track that you're like, okay, if you want to learn Mia, this is the track that you need to listen to?
It's an old one, but I'd say Make Me Human.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mia. Good luck at tonight's show. And I'm excited to see you perform tonight.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
I'm excited to play.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome to Be On Air, learning the journeys and stories behind the music with Axo Heart.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ramona Wolf. I've been singing since I could talk, and I'm at the Syndicom Social for the first time ever.
Amazing. So you say singing since you could talk. What's your earliest memory of music?
It's a really good question. Probably listening to like psych rock with my dad in the car.
Yes.
I can't tell you exactly when that was.
Yeah.
So,
when you were a
kind of
child.
inherent.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was 4, my parents brought a piano home, and it was this like shitty digital piano, and I remember closing my eyes and just like going from the very top note all the way out, and just arpeggiating all the way out, and closing my eyes and like doing it blind and remembering exactly where every note was, and I felt like I could just play the piano then.
Did your parents play any music?
They didn't play any instruments or any music really, but they were really into music. They were into Leonard Cohen, and they were into spiritualizing James, Radiohead, Tom Waits, and so we heard a lot of music, me and my older brother.
Will you still come to me when I don't believe in you?
Would you say those are the influences in your artistry today?
I think so. I think I was really inspired by Leonard Cohen. I don't remember the name of the album, but the one with Suzanne on it was my favorite as a baby, and I would like wake up every single morning at like 4 a.m. just to listen to that album.
Yeah.
So that was really influential, especially like as a Jewish artist.
Yeah.
Leonard Cohen's up there.
Perfect. And then now also, as you are kind of releasing your music, has your influences changed over time?
Yeah. I think when I was really young, when I was like 10, and I started writing songs by myself, I was really inspired by Christina Perry. That was the era of like Jar of Hearts. It was 2012. It was, I think I was 9 in 2012. So she had just released a really successful album, and I was very inspired by it, and I was writing the 9-year-old equivalent of Christina Perry songs.
Yes.
And then I grew up a little bit and got really into Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Okay.
And I was 12 and like listening to murder ballads every day, and I realized I wanted to make folk music.
Yeah.
But at that point, my brother was also really into Radiohead, and that was a big inspiration. We would sing together.
Wow. Some of the tips that you have as a performer before like performing, are there any kind of rituals you do to kind of calm the nerves? I'm an anxious performer, so I'd love to hear what you do.
Honestly, not much.
Okay.
I show up, I stress about not knowing what I'm going to play. I come up with my set in the 20 minutes before going on stage. I shouldn't be telling you this.
Yeah.
And then I just do it.
Have you performed a lot in London? Are you from London?
Yeah.
Or maybe what's your favourite venue, or maybe even dream venue to perform at?
I would love to play the Brixton O2.
Yes.
I saw Phoebe Bridgers at the Brixton O2 in January of 2022. Not January, July of 2022. And I just like realised that was a venue that I wanted to play. It was large, but it's not too big, which is nice. It's
ideal.
not too overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think my favourite venue that I've played though is probably the Slow Slam.
Okay.
That was cool. But recently, actually, my last gig was on Halloween, and I played at Toulouse-Lautrec.
Oh, wow.
That was sick. That was like one of the most beautiful gigs I've ever played.
Yeah.
So I revoke the statement.
I was going to play a song on Future Hits Radio to represent who you are as an artist. What's the one track that maybe you think, okay, if you want to learn a bit about Ramona Wolf, this is the song to listen to?
It's difficult for me to answer because I haven't got anything released on like big platforms. I have one song released on Bandcamp, and it's a demo of what's going to be the last track on my record, Pangea.
Yes.
So it's probably Pangea. It's like sad, angry music.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love sad, angry music.
I think it's music that's made for sad, angry trans people and Jewish people, and just like, I don't know, I wrote my record for 5 years. Like, I started at 15, I finished it at 20, I'm producing it at the moment. And I think that it captures a lot of different things. It speaks for people who've been unhoused. It speaks for people who have had hostility when they've come out. It talks about like addiction as a young person, as a teenager. I think.
And why do you think it's important for you to kind of share some of those potentially personal experience or experiences of people around you? Why do you think it's important to put that into your music?
I don't think I had a choice.
Okay.
I think that while I was going through all of those things as a young person, I didn't have any other outlet to write all of what I was going through.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it out because people have asked me to, and I wrote it like it's there because it was the only way out.
Yeah. No, that's it's always good to have a story behind the music rather than releasing music just for the sake of it. So amazing what you're doing. And if people wanted to find you on socials, on Spotify, where can we find you?
Right now, you can find me on Instagram at Ramona69. I don't have anything out on Spotify yet, but that will probably just be under Ramona Wolf.
Yes.
Very, very soon. I'm going to release the Pangea demo.
Perfect.
On Spotify, just so that it's out.
Amazing.
So that will be under Ramona Wolf.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being on Future Hits, and I can't wait to see you perform.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. Thank you.
Next up is an old friend from UCL. This is Haddour. He is an incredible performer again, and I got to catch up with them at their rehearsal. I also met some old faces, both Charlie Zoo and Charlie Wolf. They have such a fun environment while rehearsing, but also they are getting to the nitty-gritty and they're really looking at every single element. So they're just, as a team, they're amazing. And Adam has more releases coming up this year, so do go check him out. Again, all the links are in the description.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm an Algerian-Canadian artist based in South London.
And what sort of music do you do?
That's a point of contention. I would like to say we're leaning towards the R&B stuff, but I feel like we're now in like the R&B pop sphere.
I know you from UCL.
Yeah.
We go way back. We go way back. What has changed since that time till now?
I think a lot's changed. When I met you, I'd just kind of started songwriting, and I'd done a fair bit of music in general before I went to UCL, but I'd not really began to explore the possibility of me as my own artist.
Right.
When I started writing, it was all very like self-produced stuff, Logic Pro, like just kind of getting a grips to the songwriting process. And then I met these wonderful musicians that formed my band at UCL.
Who's that, Adam? Who's that?
Charlie
Which one's the most
Zoo,
wonderful,
Charlie
yeah?
Rolf, that person over there, Charlie Zoo, he's the best.
Someone goes and tells me you're with them. We're talking and I'm listening and I'm wonderful, overthinking and what if and my trip.
We then moved towards like a band sound and kind of explored that possibility. And then as lockdown started, obviously couldn't do much band stuff, so I moved back to the production-y stuff, and this time I was working in collaboration with Charlie Zoo. So he's done all the beats.
I'm drawn you, and if you feel the same.
Amazing. One thing that really stood out, I think, when we were back then, is your performance and your energy on stage.
Thank you.
How, like, do you prefer that to the recording process, or are they both as nerve-wracking as each other? Does something come natural to you or not?
Do you know, I'd say they're different. I'd say I like them both equally, but I feel like they're different. They feel different. You use the word nerve-wracking. I'd never describe that for a studio session, because the way they are, especially with Charlie Rolf and Charlie Zoo, they're just fun. Like we just go in there and we basically just chill and have time together as us. And at the end of it, we'll have something like fun and fresh. Like the performance is a bit more nerve-wracking because you kind of get one chance. So I'm a lot more amped up for that. It's a different energy. Maybe a bit less laid back. Maybe that's a bit more high energy.
Okay.
I probably prefer the studio stuff.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's surprising because you kill it on stage. So I'm just like, okay. So good at both.
Thank you.
Funny words, just looking for a signal, maybe I should be yours. Baby, you know it hurts and it burns, but I made it work. Concerning myself with the fruit that is just out of my reach.
Your plan for 2024 and music and stuff?
2024, plan for 2024 is music and more music.
Okay.
I've spent the past couple of years working with, like I said, Charlie Rolf, Charlie Zoo, to put together like this.
What was that order, bruv? What was that order? Charlie Rolf comes first.
Yeah. to put together kind of this new sound, and now it's ready. So I'll be releasing a single, and then another single, and then an EP, and we'll be doing our first live show in forever at Colours Hoxton on the 1st of February.
Okay.
Here's the thing about you, baby, oh, you're forbidden fruit. Why couldn't you just leave me to waste? 'Cause baby, now
So this show is going to go out when you are performing.
Yeah.
What can we expect about your performance?
Oh, expect. At the risk of sounding cliche, like expect like a new sound, a new direction. We've taken a lot of time to kind of figure out how to retain some of the production-y elements and transfer them on stage. So I'd say it's a lot more of a hybrid between production and conscious live sound.
Amazing. Okay, and then if somebody's listening to this and they're like, want to get into your music, are there other artists that you would say, okay, if you're into these two artists, you'll be into my music too?
That's hard to. Okay. The reason why that's a hard question to answer is there are artists that I aim at.
Okay.
And I feel like in aiming at them, I end up in a totally different sphere.
Right.
But like I would say, like I'm very influenced by like artists like Frank Ocean, very influenced by like artists like Hosier. They have a very different sound. I'd say like I try and emulate them, but they're so unique, and I end up in my own kind of sphere, like a tangent to them. So if you like them, maybe you'll like my stuff.
Well, thank you so much for this quick fire interview. Excited to see the show, hopefully, and excited to hear the music. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye. So I love a good jam night. We've seen that in some of the vlogs, but I got to go to Tao Soul, which is a new jam night I discovered through Lailana. You can find out more about Tao Soul in the video, but also in the link in the description. Go check them out. I think this was the first time I saw such a diverse group of people at a jam night. So welcoming, not standoffish, allowing everyone to kind of jump up and jump on. No caution about who's coming up and what they're doing. It was just such a good vibe, and I met some incredible artists and people out there. So check out my interview with Lailana. She's an incredible energy, and her music is fantastic, but her energy is just top notch.
Hi, my name is Lailana, and welcome to Tao Soul Jam.
Tao Soul comes from two words. The first word is Tao, which in the Filipino language means human, it means people. The second word, Sol, comes from the word Tawasul in Arabic, which means connection. So if you put those two together, you get human connection. And that's what Tao Soul is about. We're all about human connection through all forms of music. It doesn't matter if you're a musician, if you're a singer, a poet, a DJ, a dancer, a rapper. Yeah, exactly. If you love music, then we love you.
So talk to us about your music. How long you've been doing music? What kind of music you do?
So I started singing when I was 3. I was trained in opera and classical music, and then when I was 16 I moved to the UK, and then I joined some gospel choirs and a heavy metal band and also a funk band. So I was kind of like thrown into this like mix, but I was also just a very heavily musical theater based kid. So by the time I was like 18, I was like, I love all of this.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, are we gonna have some musical theater vibes today?
I mean, you're gonna see for yourself. I feel like every freestyle is kind of it's a theatrical show. Yeah.
You've given us everything.
We're giving you everything and more.
Okay.
It's 300%.
Oh, we love 300%. Talk to us about this jam night. What is it for? There's your...
The Spotlight Artiste of the Night.
Talk to us, what is this jam night about for you?
Okay, so basically in 2022, I started coming here to the beautiful Jago, and I started partaking in a lot of their jam sessions, and I had never jammed before. I always used to like freestyle with my friends, but I've never actually been to a night dedicated to freestyling and jamming. And after one session, I became obsessed. I started coming like 4 to 5 times a week, kind of obsessed.
Amazing.
And I was like, this is the best feeling on earth. Like, I can just, whatever comes out, it's all based on feeling. And I feel so supported by the people around me, and I feel so connected to them, even though I don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
So I was like always chasing that. And then after a whole year of jamming, I was like, okay, I've been to so many different kinds of jams. Every jam itself is so different. And everything focuses on a certain point. But saying that, I also went to a lot of jam sessions that I didn't feel were that inclusive, let's say. So like, for example, I went to this one jam, and before I got on stage the very first time, they were like, can you just sing a few bars to me? I just want to make sure that you can sing.
So it was open to everyone, but not really open to everyone.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was like, that's the worst feeling I ever had, because I went on stage and then I started to think like, oh my goodness, I just bombed that. Like, it took all the fun out of jamming.
Right.
And then from that point on, I was just like, okay, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can look for a safe space and you can feel it sometimes, but I think that the best thing is to create your own safe space.
I love that you went out and did it for yourself.
You know what?
For others.
Because you know what? No one's going to do it. So sometimes you have to do it.
Yeah.
And
so what would you say for somebody else who's like, no,
I'm hella nervous.
Okay. You have
What
nothing
would
to
you
be
say
nervous
about
about.
people to just come to your jam night in particular
how would you encourage them to come in? Any tips, anything?
Cool. So I'll tell you a bit about how Tao Soul works. Our jam is like based purely on human connection. Sorry, look how overstimulated I am right now. I'm like this.
Getting outside.
I know. I'm like, yes. I'm like concentrated, but I'm also shaking.
Yeah.
But this is the beauty, like
This is a jam happening right
literally,
now.
this is welcome to our sound check. I mean, like anyone and everyone should come here because basically we're an open jam, which means there's no sign-up sheet, which means there's no limits onto what you can do or play. We're open to all kinds of creatives. It's not just singers and musicians. It's dancers. It's poets. It's literally anyone who just wants to feel something and they're just longing for something, they come here. And the great thing about our jam is that it's an open stage. So if the house band are playing something and you're really feeling it and you want to jump on, just jump on. You don't have to wait your turn. Yeah.
And how often do you run this?
So it's every 2 weeks. It's every second Tuesday of the month and every last Wednesday of the month.
Perfect. Well, where can we find you? Where we can find more information?
So you can find me at Lailana, my personal page, and you can find this beautiful jam at Tao Soul Jam.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If you like what you saw and have any constructive feedback or things that I could do on my radio show, please drop them in the comments. Make sure you follow Future Hits for more and also Be the Artist blog. There's going to be a lot of changes. I've got some exciting news to share very soon. So thank you and I will see you next time.